Hello, my people. We don't carry and come again. Oh. This is your Youth Arena program on Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV. Now, me still be Juliet Onwumere. You know, say, not be only gospel we they preach for this station. We they talk on every matter we concern life, from politics to money matter, to health matter, to everything we concern with life, where they affect us every day. Today, you get one obonga topic we will bring come your domots. That topic na fake news. Some they call on tatafu, some they call and say na amebo. But inside that amebo, there will still be true talk where go make out the truth where you want to know. Before we go deeper into this topic, we'll be going on a short break. In this short break, we'll be reflecting on the past election, the presidential and the just concluded governorship election. Oh yeah, now stay tuned. Make we bring and come. Now welcome back to this show. Before we go on this break, we talk say we go bring you now wetin we mean by fake news. Where we they call and say na tatafo. Now, it gets something where we go display for na make una watch. No na know say this fake news where we they talk about, it get as if they eat us deeper for our bone marrow. Make you watch and see.
Fake news, rumor, hate speech, whichever one you choose to describe it, can come from different angles. It might be in terms of politics, religion, or the general social existence or lifestyle. According to Dumebi Otulubu in her book Alternative News and Misinterpretations, Fake News and its Spread in Nigeria, the term news in its ideal form stands for verifiable information in the public interest. This is why any information that does not meet these aforementioned standards does not deserve the label of news. According to her book, fake news is defined as a situation when misinformation takes the form of a news story to approximate the legitimacy which society associates with real news. Many scholars focus on the intention behind fake news when defining the term. It is also defined as information that has been deliberately fabricated and disseminated with the intention to deceive and mislead others into believing falsehoods or doubting verifiable facts. In this regard, it is this information that is presented as or is likely to be perceived as news. Fake news is viewed as news articles that are intentionally and verifiably false and could mislead readers. Clewadle of First Draft News identified 7 types of fake news, which include 1. Satire or parody. This has no intention of causing any harm, although it has potentials to fool. 2. False connection. This is when headlines or captions do not support the content. 3. Misleading content. Here, misleading information is used to frame an issue or an individual. 4. False context. This is when authentic information is shared with false contextual information. 5. Imposter content. This is when authentic sources are impersonated with false, made-up sources. 6. Manipulated content. This is when authentic information or imagery is manipulated to deceive, as can be related in the case of a doctored photo. 7. Fabricated content. In this case, the content is 100% new, yet false. It is designed to deceive and do harm. Now, have you ever been a victim of fake news? If yes, if you have ever been, then you will surely understand how spiteful and traumatic this can be. In Nigeria, especially in the entertainment industry, we have heard rumors of fake news of some celebrities who were declared dead while still alive. People who have peaceful marriage on social media, whereas they have turbulent marriages in reality. Fake news of a person's health status. Otulubu stated clearly some factors behind fake news in Nigeria as well as the world at large. The first, which is monetary gain, is considered to be one of the major reasons for the creation and spread of fake news today. Basically, all other reasons tilt towards this end. Another reason is for significance. It has been said that some media outlets have indulged in fake news reportage simply for the sake of significance. This is a major feature of the social media space in Nigeria, where persons and organizations go to any length just to be noticed. They do so by filling their space with anything, irrespective of how credible it is or not, as long as such information says stories that can attract viewers to their various spaces. However, in order to curb this mayhem of fake news spread in Nigeria and the world, there should be a high level of individual media literacy in conjunction with the collective efforts of media houses and the government to gradually control the dissemination of any unverified news that will incite or defame an individual, organization, group, or the government. Stop fake news today and let's live in a society free from fake news and its consequences.
Welcome back to the show. Like we said before, it's all about fake news. But in this fake news, like they will say, there's always an atom of truth, you know? So the one I love most is when, let me relate it to when they say, this person die, they can't come back tell us, say, nah, no be lie, he just hit his head for somewhere, no be say he die, he there for coma. Now that one, they sweet me pass. But all those fake news where we say, person die, they can't tell us, true, the person die. They make me say, God, please wake me up from this sleep. This should be a dream. So in Nigeria recently, we have so many fake news. The one that affected us during this just concluded election. And they talk, say, they hit this one head though, they carry ballot paper, move on. The fake news just they fly and I will not even understand the one will be the real truth. But we want to go on a voice pop to know what people think about this fake news and know their opinion as they take affect them. Stay tuned.
The only fake news I heard today is concerning this election that just took place a few days ago, where I heard that, especially in Lagos, I heard where they said the people who were killed and other things that were happening, other bad things that were happening in the state are caused by the Igbo people. I don't believe that is true. I believe it is a fake news. And so that is the only fake news I've heard today. Thank you.
The fake news I've heard recently during the CBN debunking a particular letter saying they are to disburse 1,000 naira and 500 naira note. That's the fake news I've heard recently.
I think I have, because recently in Nigeria we just concluded the presidential and governorship election. And one of those things you find in social media, a whole lot of posts by people who are not actually giving the accurate result as to what is expected out there. A whole lot of persons are giving results that suit their own interests as against what the right institutions would give. Thank you.
What fake news have I heard recently? The kind of society we find ourselves, it seems as though fake news is propagated by the people alone, but sometimes even government agencies, governments, they also dish out some fake news. Take, for instance, GRV of Lagos not being a Yoruba man. Abba. That's a fake news. Is a bona fide Yoruba, a bona fide Lagosian.
If I become the president of Nigeria, there will be a restructuring of offices. The first one is the justice system of the country, which each day it keeps going from bad to worse. The marginalization that is happening in the country, the oppression from the rich to the poor, those that feel they are above the law, they need to be brought to book. And that can only happen in a nation where the justice system is not corrupt or it is functioning as it should be. Then there will be belaying of age 60, you're retired, we need fresh minds in the system. We need people with fresh minds. A lot of them hold these offices and they are not ready to let go, while young ones are out there with no job, and that is why we are stuck where we are today. And digitalization is the new oil money in this era that we are in, the 21st century. Digitalization needs to go to every sector. We need to embrace it. A lot of offices still practice analogical way of handling things, of which this is where the corruption takes place, because you can do anything. So a lot of things, a lot of structure in office will have to take place.
You asked, what will I do if I become a president? One, we need to tackle the challenge of insecurity. Very, very important that we look into that. Secondly, we need to look at our economy. And before going into economy, if your environment is not safe, who will invest? Let's look into that. What has been causing people, what has been causing our country to go backward? Let us tackle insecurity. Let us make Nigeria a better place. So, by the grace of God, if I am opportune to become a president, number one thing I'm going to do, look at what are the causes of insecurity. I'm going to tackle it. Very important. Very, very important. Looking at that, I'm going to tackle insecurity. Secondly, now I'm going to invite investors to come into this country. People have been traveling around the world, to make a better life for themselves. If Nigeria becomes good, everybody that has traveled will come back. What are people looking for that has made them to travel? It's money. Yes, they want a comfortable environment. They want to be cool. They want to have a better life for themselves. If Nigeria, if you have a better security, if our country is safe, that we can be bold, that yes, we can move around the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, and we are safe. Definitely, people that are not Nigerians, if we invite them, they will be happy, because we have so many things that they can invest in Nigeria that will make them to be happy that yes, they've invested in Nigeria, that will yield great returns to them. So I'm going to invite investors, and through that, people will have job opportunities. When we have companies, organizations around, people that are not employed, it will be easier for them to gain job, to be employed, And what again? I look at many of our industries. We have entertainment industries that are thriving now. We can see it. People are really, not everybody are depending on a government job anymore. Look at that. How do we make it? How do we develop it more? So many factors that can, contribute to the effect and growth of the nation is very, very much important. And by God's grace, It's not someone can do. It's, when we work together, with the kind of people, mindset that I'm going to put into my cabinet is very much important. As a president, you don't do things alone. Look at the people you are appointing to the power. You look at them. You don't just give them the whole veto on the assignment which you've given onto them. You look at them, do things together, get back on what they've done, manage the affair together so they don't get confused at the end of the day, so they don't bring a bad reputation onto your name.
If I were the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, one key thing that I am going to ensure I do is to strengthen our institution. First, I am going to ensure that I uphold very strongly to the rule of law, and I am also going to strengthen all of our institutions, ensure that the principle of separation of power is adhered to. Why this is very important is because if all of the arms of government are independent and are able to ensure that all that is needed to carry out their basic function, they have the freedom to carry this out, people in the nation would be able to know that they are in safe hands, in the hands of this elected representative. So as the president, I would, from my office, ensure that this basic principle is being carried out. Like worthy of note is the recent case of the cash crunch, where a whole lot of Nigerians have to pay with their time and a whole lot in the bank, still not being able to get cash. So as a president, if I were to be in this position, I would come out and boldly let the people know what I stand for, what I represent. And this would go a long way in strengthening their resolve as a people of Nigeria. So I think that, for me, is one thing. Then secondly, education, they say, is the biggest force that drives every nation. So education would be of utmost importance. I would give in my best to ensure that from the grassroots down to the tertiary level of our educational system, it is well strengthened, because if we get that, that is where we'll start getting it right as a nation.
If I become president of Nigeria, what will I do? First of all, we need to, start strengthening our institutions. Recent happenings have shown that we have stronger human beings, stronger politicians, and weak institutions. For example, we all witnessed the general elections, the presidential elections particularly. We all saw how it went, and we all saw the outcome of that event. It's so sad to note that whatever happened as a result of weak institutions. So if I become president of Nigeria, I will, strive to get our institutions working. There will be no superhuman, so to say, but we'll have stronger institutions, stronger laws that, deal with people that are found wanting. When I talk about institutions, I refer to organs of government and arms of government, such as the legislature, the judiciary doing what they were empowered to do and doing so effectively. We have other institutions such as the police, military, including INEC, almighty INEC. So, and a whole lot of other institutions anyway. So, and of course, I will, uphold and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and also keep to those vows I made during the swearing in.
What would I do when I become the president, or if I become the president of Nigeria? Well, there are so many things to be done. Well, number one thing is I'm going to work on our economic sector. We are a country blessed with so many natural resources, so many resources, but over the past years, we have not been able to utilize these our resources. So I'm going to work on utilizing these resources, making them productive for us. They can bring in money, they can bring in so many financial benefits. They can increase our economy. And so I'm going to use these raw materials we have, these things, to just boost our economy, make Nigeria a great nation. Nigeria is known for our economy, our natural resources, our raw materials. So I'm going to use these resources to make our economy a great one. And then secondly, what I'll do if I become the president of Nigeria is to tackle insecurity. Insecurity has become a very big challenge in our country today. We see that insecurity has done more harm than good in our society. And so I'm going to tackle insecurity when or if I become the president.
All right, my people, we are back again. Una don hear, consider the opinion of people from the street as they take affect them. This fake news, for me, sometimes when I hear it, they make my heart, they do, they too good, especially for a person who get BP or so. They take affect them well. So for me, I go to tell people, when they just close their ear for something where they feel the ear, because sometimes they affect person health. So, but we get one Ogbonge barrister we want to talk to us about this fake news matter. His name na Barrister Gideon Agbedo. Make una listen to him.
Fake news is simply inaccurate information being passed out there. Fake news can come from your WhatsApp status, it can come from a message that you forwarded, it can come from Twitter, it can come from Facebook, it can come from the various media, social media platforms. It can also come from the traditional news outlets. However, passing fake news means that you are liable to certain suit coming against you, especially for traditional media outlets or registered media outlets. So it is harder for you to see fake news coming from traditional media outlets because they know that they are liable to lawsuits. So they tend to verify their information. But the information you see from social media, the one that is passed through your WhatsApp means or probably by your status updates, yes, that's where you see a lot of fake information. And how do people tend to create this fake information? It's like a pyramid scheme. When one person creates it, it's turned to two people, that two people fall into 4 people or 10 people, then it keeps on spreading. That's how fake news is established. On the platform of Twitter, for instance, one person can post something that is totally fake from his own room, probably about the result of an election. And then you see different retweets. It's from this retweet that the news spreads, and then it becomes widespread, even though it's fake, even though the news was formed from the comfort of somebody's bedroom. So fake news is something that is still telling on our Nigerian economy, because people are taking decision from fake news. And after they've taken a decision and the consequences have come, they now find that even the information on which they based their decision was actually fake. So fake news is a social phenomenon that is quite disastrous to the nation building and individuals' mental health. That's the truth. And it has proven to also affect the economy as well. Because when you pass out information that is not true about the economy, and people take certain decisions or certain steps based on that information, it means that the outcome of that particular decision is not going to be positive. It's not going to be what that person foresees because it's based on wrong information. But the question as to how one can spot fake news is quite simple. Verify it first. And how do you verify whether a news is fake or genuine? You first of all wait first. Let the news be passed through the right source. How do I mean the right source? If the news is is about election, for instance, it means that wait until you hear INEC declare such a thing. And how do you know it's INEC declaring it? You can check on their sites. INEC, they have sites where they post information. Same thing with Nigerian government. We have NTA where you can verify directly from there. They also have traditional media outlets, seasoned traditional media outlets that that verify their information before they pass it. And then as you are watching, just be intentional about noting the choice of words that they use. Because if it's a traditional media outlet, they will let you know whether if news being reported to them or whether if it's a report coming from the source itself. So it's very easy to find out whether a news is genuine or an information is genuine or not. Which source is it coming from? So this most test in identifying a fake news or a genuine news is by ascertaining the source, where it's coming from. Is the source the right source? Is it being broadcasted by traditional media outlets? So basically, if you check one of those two things, you'll be able to determine whether it's a fake news or whether it is genuine, whether the news is something you can rely on or taking further decisions. And another thing is that don't be quick to pass any information that comes to you. Don't be part of those that are spreading fake news. Wait until you verify it before you share. Also, that you want to share to check if it is true. No. Wait first. Ask questions. Tune on your TV or whatever to the traditional media outlets, or go and buy newspaper and then get your news from it. Not from social medias where a lot of fake news are being peddled on a daily basis. So it's very important that we wait first to verify certain information before we pass. Let us not be a medium for spreading of fake news. Traditional media houses should also educate the society about their relevance in society, how the work they are doing is important, and why it is important for them to get their news from verified sources and not just anybody that just look up and see himself as a media personality. People actually go to school, institutions, universities to get degrees in journalism before they can be licensed to practice. So it's very important that the general public knows that getting your news from professionals will go ahead, will go a long way in curbing or rooting out some of this fake news that will lead to certain decisions that you will not be proud of in the future. For instance, I'm not sure that if you post a fake news or a news that's not verified, for instance, and then somebody now take action based on that information that you pass, they will not be happy. So it's very important that you respect the profession of journalists and also what they do. And we do that by making sure that you don't just pass any information that's not verified from the right sources or from a licensed journalist or a media house. So these things are very important. Just like I said, it's important, it's quite significant in the society. It goes to the economy, even your mental health as well. How do you feel when fake news is being sent to you and then it gets a reaction from you that may affect your state of well-being at that moment? So it's very important that we stand as vanguard to curbing fake news and all of that.
That's Barrister Gideon. He just spoke on the implications of fake news and the law backing it up. I hope you learned a lot from him. And this thing they call fake news to me has a very strong impact on people. Sometimes you say things that people did not do, and it is called character assassination because you're not sure of the information you are giving out. We have Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. People just pick up information, forward without going through it or how to edit what is not relevant. Some sentences are not relevant, some words are not relevant. You just go ahead and forward it. It's very, very wrong. You know, we should learn to read. You know, say for this country, reading something we will not lie do at all. They say if you won't hide anything for any Nigerian man, make them hide an inside book. Because so go say after school, I not go even signboard, I not go read. I not go read anything, say I not tired, you want read, waiting again. I beg, make we dey try read. E good say make we dey read. You know, they say a good reader is a good leader. That's the saying. So I wish you all the best and always try to scrutinize the things you hear and what you pass on to the next person. All right, now me, I still be Juliet Omumere. Till we come your way next time, same station. Bye for now.
Thank you.